My kitchen had laminate countertops, basic white subway tile, oak cabinets I refinished myself, functional, clean, adequate. My sister, Diane, had always made comments. You should update this space, or with your salary, you could really do something. Diane's kitchen, as of 3 months ago, was a showpiece. Marble countertops, custom cabinetry, professional appliances. 17 social media posts about the space I deserve. What I hadn't mentioned was that I co-signed the home equity loan that paid for it, $150,000, with me as guarantor because Diane and Tom's credit wasn't strong enough. Just for approval, Diane had said, "We'll make all the payments." I'd signed because she was my sister. The dinner invitation came via text. Family dinner at my place Saturday. Come see how normal people live. I arrived at 6 with wine. Diane's daughter, Maya, opened the door, already judging. Aunt Jen, Mom's in the kitchen. The house smelled like catered food. The dining table was set with new china, white with gold trim. Mom was already there, admiring the kitchen. Tom poured drinks. Maya and her brother, Ethan, set out appetizers. Your kitchen looks tired, Maya said. Mom showed me pictures. The counters are that fake marble stuff, right? Laminate. That's sad. We have real marble. It costs thousands per square foot. Maya, Diane said, smiling. Be nice. I'm just saying. Mom says Aunt Jen can't afford marble. Different priorities, Diane said. Some people care about their living space. Others focus on work. She made work sound embarrassing. We sat down to dinner. The conversation kept circling back to the renovation. The contractor said our kitchen is now one of the nicest in the neighborhood, Diane announced. It's an investment, Tom added. Adds $50,000 to the home value. Maya watched me. Aunt Jen, why don't you renovate? Don't you make good money? I do fine, but not enough for marble? I could afford marble. I choose not to. Why? Ethan asked. Diane laughed. Jennifer's always been practical. She'd save her allowance while I spent mine. Boring, Maya said, then looked shocked. I mean, responsible. Everyone chuckled. I'll get dessert, Diane said, standing. Maya, help me. They disappeared into the kitchen. Through the archway, I could see them plating something elaborate. Mom patted my hand. They don't mean anything by it. Don't they? Diane's just proud of her kitchen. Let her have this. Maya came back carrying plates. Fancy dessert, professionally made. She set one in front of each person, moving around the table with exaggerated care. When she reached me, she paused. These plates are really expensive. Mom got them from Italy. Each one costs, like $200. They're beautiful, I said. Yeah, not like regular plates. She held mine up, showing it off. See the gold rim? Real gold. Then she dropped it. Not fumbled, not slipped. Deliberately opened her fingers and let it fall. The plate shattered on the tile floor. Ceramic and dessert and gold trim scattered everywhere. Maya's hand flew to her mouth. Oh no, I'm so sorry. But her eyes weren't sorry. They were calculating, waiting to see my reaction. Diane rushed over. Maya, what happened? It slipped. I was showing Aunt Jen the gold rim and it just slipped. That's a $200 plate, Tom said, but he didn't sound angry. He sounded amused. Diane surveyed the damage, then looked at me. Her expression was odd, satisfied. Well, at least it's not expensive china. She paused, letting that sink in. I mean, it is expensive china, but at least it's not yours. You wouldn't have to replace it. Maya giggled. Ethan joined in. Tom smiled into his wine glass. Mom looked uncomfortable but said nothing. I stood up and helped pick up the pieces. Nobody else moved to help. They just watched me kneel on the floor, gathering shards of their $200 Italian plate. You don't have to do that, Diane said. We can replace it. We can afford to replace it. The emphasis on me was clear. I should go, I said, standing with a handful of ceramic pieces. Already? But we haven't had coffee yet. I have an early morning. On Sunday? Diane's eyebrows rose. Still working weekends? That's dedication. Or desperation, her tone implied. I said goodbye to Mom, who hugged me with guilty eyes. I left the ceramic pieces on the kitchen counter, next to the marble that had cost thousands per square foot. Maya walked me to the door. Sorry about the plate, Aunt Jen. I'll be more careful next time. Will you? She smiled, sweet and innocent. Probably not. Mom says you shouldn't bring nice things around people who don't appreciate them. I got in my car and sat in the driveway for a moment, looking at Diane's house, the house with the showpiece kitchen, the marble countertops, the Italian china, the obvious markers of success. All financed by a loan I'd guaranteed. At home, I made tea in my tired kitchen. Then I opened my laptop and pulled up my banking portal. The loan was through Coastal Bank. I was co-signer and guarantor. I'd received monthly statements for 3 months. Payments were made from a joint account I'd set up. Payments that actually came from automatic transfers from my account to theirs, then to the bank. They thought they were paying. They didn't realize it was my money cycling through. I'd done it because Diane had called crying 2 months after the renovation. We can't make the payments. Tom's commission wasn't what he expected. We'll lose the house. So I quietly set up the system, my money funding their dream kitchen, their Italian china, while they mocked my laminate countertops. I called Coastal Bank's customer service. I navigated to loan services, then to guarantor options. I drafted an email to my loan officer, Angela Martinez. Angela, regarding loan account ending in 4782, I'm formally requesting removal as guarantor and immediate cessation of payment assistance. Please begin proceedings to transfer full responsibility to the primary borrowers. This may trigger a review of loan terms. I'm prepared to discuss Monday morning. Jennifer. I hit send. Then I stopped the automatic transfer, the one making their payments possible. The one due again in 5 days. Without it, they'd miss their payment. With me removed as guarantor, the bank would review the loan. They discovered Diane and Tom couldn't actually afford the payments. They might even call the entire loan due. I slept better than I had in months. Sunday morning, my phone started ringing at 7. Diane. I let it go to voicemail. She called again at 7:30, 8:30. I was drinking coffee in my tired kitchen when I finally answered at 9. What did you do? Her voice was shaking. Good morning, Diane. The bank sent Tom an email. They're reviewing our loan. They're saying something about the guarantor status changing. What did you do? I removed myself as guarantor. Silence. Then you can't do that. We have a contract. We have a loan agreement that allows guarantors to withdraw under certain conditions. I met those conditions. What conditions? Loss of confidence in the borrower's ability to repay. We've been making every payment. Have you? Or have I been making them while the money passed through your account? More silence. Longer this time. You've been paying? Her voice was small now. Every month since June, when you called crying about Tom's commission, but the money came from our account. After I transferred it there, you were paying with my money, Diane. I didn't know. You didn't ask. You just enjoyed your marble countertops and Italian china while your daughter broke plates in front of me for entertainment. That was an accident. It was deliberate. Maya dropped that plate on purpose, and you made a joke about how at least it wasn't my expensive china, because I can't afford expensive china. I didn't mean, while I was paying for yours, while I was funding your entire renovation, while I was making it possible for you to have the kitchen you could show off and feel superior about, I didn't know you were paying. You knew I co-signed. You knew your credit wasn't good enough on your own. You just assumed the loan would work itself out, that the granite, marble, and professional appliances would appear without cost. We were going to pay it back. With what? Tom's commission that never came through? Your part-time job? You borrowed $150,000 for a kitchen renovation and had no actual plan to repay it. I could hear her crying now. Please don't do this. The bank will call the loan. We'll lose the house. You might, or you might work out a payment plan, or you might learn to live within your means. You're being cruel. Am I? More cruel than teaching your daughter to mock my kitchen? More cruel than dropping plates to make a point about expensive things? More cruel than letting your entire family laugh at my expense while I paid your mortgage? We didn't know. You didn't care. That's worse. Tom got on the phone. Jennifer, let's be reasonable. We can work this out. I am being reasonable. I'm removing myself from financial responsibility for a loan you can't afford. We'll make the payments. With what? The money I transferred to you? That ends today. Your next payment is due Friday. Let's see if you can cover it. This will ruin us. This will require you to be honest about what you can actually afford. There's a difference. He hung up. Mom called an hour later. Jennifer, what's going on? Diane called me crying. I removed myself as guarantor from her renovation loan. You were the guarantor? You never told me. I was also making the payments. I didn't tell you that either. Oh, honey. She mocked my kitchen, Mom. Her daughter broke a plate in front of me deliberately. They all laughed about how I can't afford nice things, while I was literally paying for theirs. They didn't know. They didn't ask. They just assumed I was less than them because I drive an older car and have laminate countertops. They measured my worth by my visible consumption and found me lacking. What will happen to them? That depends on them. The bank will review the loan. They'll have to prove they can make payments without me. If they can't, they'll have to refinance or sell. They love that house. They love the idea of that house, the Instagram perfect kitchen, the status symbols. They don't love it enough to actually pay for it themselves. Monday morning, Angela called me at work. I got your email. I have to say, this is going to cause problems for the Morrisons. I understand. Their credit application showed income that we've now discovered was supplemented by your transfers. Without your guarantee and without that supplemental income, they don't qualify for this loan amount. What are their options? Refinance at a higher rate for a lower amount, sell the house, or bring the loan current and prove consistent income for 6 months to re-establish qualification. And if they can't do any of that, we'll have to call the loan due. They'll have 90 days to pay the full balance or face foreclosure. I understand. Ms. Morrison, can I ask what changed? You've been supporting this loan for months. I got tired of being treated like I was poor by people I was keeping solvent. Fair enough. I'll process the paperwork today. Diane texted that afternoon. The bank wants $50,000 by the end of the month or they're calling the whole loan. We don't have it. Please. I didn't respond. She texted again at midnight. We'll lose everything. Please. I'm sorry. Maya's sorry. We made a mistake. I wrote back, you made many mistakes. Assuming I was less successful because I lived modestly, teaching your children to mock people based on their countertops, raking plates for entertainment. Those were all choices. Now you face the consequences. What do you want from us? Nothing. That's the point. I want nothing from you. No gratitude, no acknowledgement, no relationship built on me funding your lifestyle while you look down on mine. We can fix this. You can, by selling the house, downsizing, and living within your means. By teaching Maya that value isn't measured in marble and gold-rimmed china. That's cruel. That's reality. The bank called the loan 2 weeks later. Diane and Tom couldn't make the $50,000 payment. They couldn't refinance. They put the house on the market. It sold in 30 days. They moved into a rental, smaller, without the showpiece kitchen. Maya's social media went quiet. Mom tried to mediate. Their family, Jennifer. Family doesn't mock you while you're paying their bills. They're sorry. They're sorry they got caught. 3 months later, I renovated my kitchen. Not to prove anything, but because I wanted to. Quartz countertops. Custom cabinets. Professional appliances I'd actually use. The contractor who did Diane's kitchen called me. Your sister said you probably want builder-grade everything. What do you think I want? He looked around. Quality without flash. Function that looks good. Exactly. It cost $60,000. I paid cash. I didn't post photos. I didn't invite anyone to admire it. I just lived in it. It was perfect. Diane never saw it. We spoke twice in 6 months, both times at Mom's request. Brief, polite, distant. Maya graduated high school and went to community college. Her Instagram bio changed from living my best life to something more humble. Tom got a better job. They moved to a slightly bigger rental. They learned to live within their means. And I learned that generosity without respect isn't generosity at all. It's enabling. It's letting people take advantage while they look down on you. My kitchen has quartz countertops now. Not laminate. Not marble. Something better. Something I chose. Something I paid for. Something that's mine. And nobody gets to mock it.